I'm someone I can lie in bed the whole day consuming. I felt unseen. This hurt me. I got so sad. There was so much more I wanted to bring into the world as a creative being, and I didn't know how. Being in contact with this inner life force which drives you. Spring is here and nature is blossoming. This reminds me of my creative being. I can tap into my soul space and make it visible to the world. For a long time, I did not have access to my creative power. My rich inner being was completely cut off from the outside. I felt unseen. I had no voice. It was like being paralyzed. I felt so sad for not being able to express myself. Being a creator nowadays can be easier, but it also can be more difficult. The triviality of modern life drags me down, and the stunning beauty of our cultural heritage overwhelms me. I asked myself, how can I ever keep up with this? I didn't value myself. In school, we were not encouraged to be creative. Instead of producing art, we learned art history. In our society, there is a lack of vital creativity, which mirrors our lack of vital spirituality. We analyze and repeat what others produced. Prophets from the Bible, mystics from the medieval ages, gurus from India, famous writers, composers, architects. But we don't learn how to be truly creative beings by ourselves. I deeply crave this. I had this rich inner world, my inner mystic, my inner priest, my inner artist wanted to come alive, and I didn't know how. I had to go through a process of individuation. What helped me was nature. Nature doesn't judge you like society does. When I'm in the forest, something magical happens. I get in contact with the spirits of the place, the spirits of the earth, the air, the water, the sun, the spirits of the elements. I started to create sacred spaces for them, and in return, they helped me to unlock my creative power. The element water was especially helpful. When I'm at the ocean, a lake, a river, a creek, the spirits of the water help me to get into a creative flow. I also got in contact with my own nature, with my raw, sensual being, my inner depth, and I discovered a secret. Spirituality, sexuality, and creativity, they have the same source. life force. In my end 30s and in my 40s, I started to be a creator again. I tapped into my life force and I learned crafts and techniques. I created altars and sacred spaces. I led my own retreats and women's circles. I invented meditations and spiritual processes. I finished writing my first book. I learned filming and producing videos. And my creativity also showed in my lifestyle. I felt joy with arranging flowers, furnishing my home, dressing myself. I had found my expression, and this is deeply fulfilling. In this video, I will tell my story, how I unlock my creativity, and I will give you 5 helpful keys. You know, I'm someone I can lie in bed the whole day consuming. Reading, watching videos, being on social media, writing comments the whole day, and so on and so on. I really enjoyed it and I also learned a lot. But only consuming doesn't fulfill me. I have this rich inner world which I want to express and I want to share it with other people and I want to get resonance and I want to create and I want to produce art and I want to blossom. I want to be an active, productive part of this world and I want to have a voice in society. When I only consume, I cannot do this and I miss my purpose of life. And this hurts. The point when I realized this was feeling admiration and envy. I realized that I admired and envied people who created, people who were productive, people who inspired other people, people who influenced other people with their ideas, with their experience, with their opinion, with their expression, with their lifestyle, with their charisma. I felt unseen. And this hurt me. I got so sad. It made me so sad. And when I felt, oh, now you're missing, you cannot go out, and I didn't feel this easy flow of life. I just felt heavy, sitting there, consuming, taking in all the time. It gave me a feeling of frustration and heaviness and missing the point. And you know, there are reasons for this in our society. I grew up in Austria and I also live in Germany. And my experience is that in those countries there is a division between professional artists and people who just have a hobby, like a bored housewife or a bored accountant who just paints in his or her free time, who produces some cheesy stuff and yeah, this is such a horrible picture and such a horrible division, because you only have the choice to become 100% professional who does art for his life, or you're just bad. When you want to become this professional artist, you have to study at art academy where thousands of people apply and only a handful people actually get the chance. It's this very rare and elite and also politically influenced area. So most people do art in their free time as a hobby artist who, paints aquarels or does some housewife type of videos or things like this. This is the image I picked up in our society, and it's such a horrible image, and it frustrated me, and it also prevented me from producing. When I was younger, I studied business administration because I thought, it's an easier way and maybe I can go into marketing and PR, things like this, which are a little bit artistic and a little bit creative. And I finally did this. I ended up as a freelance editor and writer for magazines, and it didn't really deeply fulfill me. There was so much more I wanted to bring into the world as a creative being, and I didn't know how. I got this image from society, and all people around me talked like this. I didn't think that I would ever find a path in society to express myself in an artistic way. This already started at high school. We only had to read the books of established authors and write comments and papers about it. We weren't encouraged to creatively write by ourselves. Even in art class, we learned more about art history than actually painting. And when we painted, our teachers, they didn't know, state-of-the-art techniques to create. So I missed this encouragement at school deeply. It took me many years to reconnect with my creative power. It was in my mid and 30s and beginning 40s when I started to be a truly creative person again. It took me that long to reconnect. And some people never reconnect. I will give you 5 keys which helped me to get in contact with my creativity again. First key for unlocking your creativity. This is getting in contact with spirituality, sexuality, and life force. Those 3 have the same source. Tapping into your inner depth and being in contact with this inner life force, with your inner power, which drives you. Creating art is similar to creating life. Having a closer look at your sexuality can help you tremendously to connect with your creativity. In some traditions, they call it the Kundalini energy, which rises up inside of our body and which has to be awakened, because according to those traditions, most people are not in contact with their Kundalini, and their Kundalini needs to wake up. My experience is it's not so much awakening which is needed, because I always had this contact to my inner life force, but it was not directed into creativity. It was just directed into sexuality, like into my partnerships, and not directed into creativity, into being productive and into producing. I just had to follow its energy and open up to this energy and using this energy for my creative processes. That's a step I had to learn, a step I had to get acquainted to. For me, this meant to be in contact with my submissive side and to give myself over to this power, to the power of an encounter, to the power of life. I had to translate my sexual submissive side into giving in a creative way. I learned to connect my sexual parts with my creative parts. There are many helpful techniques in Tantra when you attend a serious tantric training. So the kind of Tantra where you focus on yourself and you don't go there to meet people to have sex with them, but you focus on your inner process. It's more about your inner journey and about growing and developing yourself. Second key for unlocking your creativity, and this is choosing the right surrounding and lifestyle where you can blossom. You see this in nature. A tree, a flower, a plant cannot blossom everywhere. It doesn't grow everywhere. Different plants need a different kind of surrounding and a different kind of environment. And it's the same with us humans. We cannot blossom and we cannot grow everywhere. Reflect about yourself, get to know yourself, and analyze, what do you need? The feeling I get when I'm in the right environment, it's easy. Yeah, I don't have to fight, and it's not difficult. There's this easy flow of life that I feel, and I feel this, there's this sparkling feeling inside, yeah, like that I can grow, and it's interesting and it's easy. It makes me feel good. And of course, not all the time, yeah, but those kind of environments you have to choose. It can be your daily rhythm. Do you get enough sleep? Do you get enough time for yourself? For me, it's very important to have enough time for myself and to be allowed to be slow. Because in this slowness and in this empty space, I can receive. I receive. If the water is still, then you can see to the ground. You can tap into your inner being, into your soul space. And then you can get the ideas, inspirations rising up, and you can catch them, yeah, and take them. So slowness, for example, reducing stress, being in nature, having a healthy diet, all those things are important. Or it can be inspiring people around you, music, the feeling of adventure, freedom and openness in your environment. Is it allowed to be open? Yeah? Or are you criticized for every mistake you make? Secure relationships which give you a grounding, and on this ground you can grow. It can be many things, and I want to encourage you to look inside, to get in contact with yourself and to see, what do you need? Which environment do you need? And which lifestyle do you need? Third key for unlocking your creativity. And this is valuing yourself and just start. Valuing yourself or feeling valued by your surrounding is so important because it encourages you to produce and to be creative into this open space. It's part of the process to make mistakes. And if you are surrounded by people, or if you have an inner critic who always criticizes you when you make mistakes, you will not be able to create something new and sparkly, yeah, because you're afraid to make mistakes and you confine yourself to some narrow boundaries. Therefore, it's very important to value yourself and to feel valued by important people around you, and then you feel free. And just start. It's a process. You're not perfect from the beginning, and you cannot think out everything from the beginning. And then once you have this perfect framework, you start. No, just start. Just start, and then things evolve. And you learn while you are doing. When I do things, I see, okay, this is good, this is bad, I like this, I don't like this, and then it evolves. When I make a video, I see, okay, today I wear this dress. This color, yeah, it's good, it looks good on this video. Maybe it's not the dress I planned to wear. I had 3 or 4 dresses I wanted to wear, and I tried them on in front of the camera, and then I saw, yeah, with this background and with those flowers, this dress is the best. So try out things. Just do it and try it out. And while you do it and try it out, it evolves. It grows. Don't be afraid to just start. And you can always throw it away. Yeah. I did videos and I just threw them away because, yeah, I didn't like it. It wasn't good. But no matter, I did other videos and I used them. So it's a trial and error also. Fourth key for unlocking your creativity. And this is learning the skills. When you're creative, you need some kind of media or a certain form. This can be a video, this can be painting, it can be writing, it can be fashion, it can be so many things, but all those things need skills and techniques. You need to learn the craft. When I produce videos, I need to learn how to film, I need to learn how to cut the video, I need to learn something about audio techniques, and so on and so on. And if it's fashion which interests you, then you need to learn something about the materials and the tailoring and so on and so on. This part is undervalued often because some people think, oh, you have this great idea and yeah, and I'm very talented and then everything will be fine. No, you have to learn step by step how to do your things. When I look back at the videos I did at the beginning, I improved so much. And this is because I learned the craft of video making step by step, and I will improve in the future even more. And if you like something, if you like painting, for example, it's a big joy to learn new painting techniques. Yeah, just find your craft, find your method, find your media, and then start learning, start improving over time. Fifth key for unlocking your creativity, and this is putting it out there, giving it into the world, releasing it into the world. This means you need a platform, you need media, you need a network, you need other people to recognize what you're doing. I mean, of course, you can also produce your artwork just for yourself or your friends, and this is perfectly okay if you are happy with this. But for many people, and also for me, it's very important to be seen in public, to have a voice in society, to get recognized and to get a resonance, a public resonance. This was difficult for me at the beginning because I'm an introvert and I don't like to promote myself actively, and I don't want to adapt to social codes and to groups and to some opinions of other people. I just want to put out my thing. In our times, it's much easier for individual beings to put out their art into the world because of the internet, because of social media, because of all those easy techniques we have. 20 years ago, you needed a bunch of people when you wanted to produce something. And now I need just myself and sometimes my partner who films me with the gimbal and with the drone, yeah. And of course, network, platform, and other people to recognize you. This is important. And if it's on YouTube, in the internet, or if it's in an art gallery, somewhere else where people meet, it doesn't matter. It's you choosing the environment and the platform. You can do your research and you can see what suits you, what you like, what suits your personality, and so on. Yeah. Now I come to the end of this video, and at the end of my videos I usually talk about the symbol of my video. And the symbol of this video is the blossoming tree and the blossoming flowers. This doesn't need many words. I just want to share a metaphor with you. Someone asked a tree about the meaning of life, and the tree just blossomed. So, thank you for listening.
Would you go on a one-way trip to Mars with me? I don't know if we'll ever get that far, baby. All I know is that we might have something special. Let's give being astronauts a try. I don't know what path we will take. I don't know who will go and who will stay within my life. But what I do know is that I hope it's you out of 8 billion people in this world. Would you go on a one-way trip to Mars with me? I don't know if we'll ever get that far, baby. All I know is that we might have something special. Let's get being astronauts a try. There is a universe bigger than both of us, bigger than anything that has ever been. I can't get my head around it, can't even think about it. And all I know for sure right now, I'm glad you're here with me.